Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
The day I met Bullhorn Betty and Jonathan Lee Ridges, they were protesting in front of the Laundries home. I began to document them, and little did I know, the three of us would spend the next few months traveling together. Nothing scares us, even if it means crossing a freezing cold river and getting wet. We put our lives in danger because we want to find answers. It gives us purpose, even if it means going undercover to get those answers, or visiting the scene of a crime and paying our respects. Searching for the truth isn't easy. It gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you see things in a different perspective. And it's this perspective that we want the world to see. At the end of the day, we fight for justice. We fight for those who don't have a voice. We fight for those who were silenced. Our next case, we search for Paula Miranda. She was last seen swimming in this river. Here's our Paula's family. Found 2 footprints they believe belonged to her. She left her phone and keys in her car. Her sister tells us that's extremely unusual for her to do that. Stay tuned as we venture deep into Wekiwa Springs State Park to help find her.
See, I don't know about y'all, but like for real, I don't mind being talked about. My problem come in when they start making stuff up. So you can talk about me all you want. It is what it is. You know, it's either I did it or I didn't. I said it or I didn't. Whatever the case is, I don't care. I let whoever think whatever, feel whatever. That's on them. You know what I'm saying? But it's the making up part. It's the lying part. It's the adding on to part that always get me. I don't mind being talked about. It's when y'all start lying that bothers me.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good evening, YouTube. If I look tired, it's probably because I am. I am extremely exhausted. I have literally been working all day. Since you guys seen me this morning, I have literally been working. I'm exhausted. Who do we have in the house? Cabana Boy. Oh, Cabana Boy. Cabana Boy. I am. Oh. You are the Cabana Boy today. Hi, everybody. See, it's so much darker without that light up there.
Yeah.
You can sit in the chair. Jeez Louise. So as you can see, we have Olivia that works alone and stays isolated in her home and everything like that. You know, she doesn't like other creators and doesn't hang out with other people. And, you know, apparently apparently you don't like people, Olivia. Who knew?
Goodness.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah. So hi everybody. There's also there's some craziness going on, but we've been working, guys. We've been working really hard here. You know, I got some things coming up. We got some things coming up. You know, we're still traveling all over the country, folks. We got a lot of cases that are going to be unfolding before us. What do we have? We still are working on Summer Wells. We still have Michael Monkey Vaughn, which I haven't even dropped any videos related to that or my analysis of what I found out while I was up there. And you're
I commented. I think it was a troll that was like pretending to be me.
I saw Chronicles of Olivia. I'm like, I just wanted to look over. She already knew what I was about to ask you. I'm like, did you just post? Hey, all in the heart, like she's right here at this camera, like she could literally say it out of her mouth, and she is in the chat communicating.
I'm always multitasking.
It's strange. It's true. The truth is stranger than fiction. But you know what a great video Dolly did. What a great live he did earlier today. You know, he got the press conference, right? Press conference that didn't really give us a whole lot of information, but it did. It kind of did. You know, it doesn't sound like law enforcement is believing the wad of crap that family is giving them. And did you guys notice that all of the people that are in and around this child, yet again, I think Justice for All is the one that said it best, Summer Wells 2.0, every person around this child. Now, granted, I got some flack from, and you're going to tune in or chime in on this. I got some flack in Dolly's room because I'm like, you know, the babysitter's got a past. I'm not saying that she's a bad person or even has anything to do with the disappearance of this child. I never said that. But what I did say is that we need to look into her. Because it's, you know what? I look into everybody. Don't we look into literally everybody?
Yeah.
Literally everybody.
Everyone.
You know, and we do what it was known as like a process of elimination, you know, where you look at them. Okay, she's got a bad rap sheet, but what's her motives, means, and opportunity? Is she going to be down at the bottom of the list or at the top of the list? And so I get flack for saying that we still have to look at her. then even law enforcement is saying all people are on the table, all possibilities are on the table. Everybody's a suspect, right? And I just made it a point to say, including that babysitter, because we don't know what happened. Listen, folks, let's look at this. So we got these kids that are all real bad. Well, we do have this babysitter that does have violence in her past. Now, I think the last charge she had was from 2011. So you're talking about a decade ago. You know, it sounds like she hasn't had any problems that I could see since. So, you know, in all fairness, it looks like she got her shit together. Okay. But the bottom line is she could have injured that child while it was in her care, taken it back home to mom and dad. Mom and dad not be the wiser because they're all effed up on all these drugs and everything else. Wake up, the child is no longer breathing. They think it's their fault, but it could have been from an injury sustained at the babysitter's house. You see where I'm going with this? So for the idea that we would not look at this babysitter because she comes out on Facebook and looks authentic and truthful, that's pretty stupid, in my opinion. Now, she probably, once we look into her, she'll probably, you know, go to the bottom of the list like I presume that she would. But still, for me not to even consider her a person of interest when she had that close of contact with that child prior to the child disappearing, that would be foolish of me and it would be foolish of you not to at least have the conversation.
It's always good not to assume.
Right.
So, yeah.
So that's kind of where we are. Hey, Bullhorn and Olivia. Nice to see you, Sunshine. Nice to see you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and open up this, the panel, because we're not going to be here that long tonight. As you can see, I'm exhausted. We've worked a lot of hours. Would you agree?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of hours. And, you know, oh, Deanna, I saw your post. I hope you have, you know, I read that, and I just want to tell you that I am praying for you, and I hope your procedure goes very well. You know, we're going to be doing something for the veterans, and, you know, maybe we'll do a fundraiser for cancer awareness or something like that in the near future, just to help out, you know, whatever we can do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I got I think, and guys, if this is up to you, if you guys want to make this a successful members only live, it's the ball's in your court. I'm opening the live up to you. You got me and Olivia here. The link is at the top of the chat. If you guys would like to come in here and say hi, or talk about a case, or talk about something else, this is your time to do so. So go ahead and get the link. Now this, I know that other people that aren't members of this chat can get that link and come into this room. I'm going to ask that you don't do that. You can if you want to. You know, I'm not going to chew you out or anything like that, but I'd really like you guys to respect that this is a members only live, and that you let the members call in and have their undivided attention with me as opposed to somebody else. If I don't get anything, guys, then I'm exhausted. I'm be honest with you.
Yeah, we've been working today.
I'll kill a lie and go to bed. So hopefully you guys, somebody grabs the link and comes up and says hi and whatnot. What did you guys think about the press conference? Did you watch the press conference?
No, I haven't yet.
Maybe that's what we should do. Hold on, let me go over here. Thank God for, you know what? People don't like me until they need me, right? And we would have missed a press conference if we almost did miss the press conference, quite frankly. But let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Hold on, guys. Let me see where. There it is. Come on. This is the crap that can you see what I'm doing here? Like, I can't drag. Okay, there it goes. This is the crap that drives me nuts with this MacBook Pro here. It's like
dragging things over.
Yes, I don't understand it. And then it highlights it, and then it puts the directory and dictionary crap up there. And that's odd. Okay. So, as many of you know, I'm new to the MacBook Pro. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull this up here, and I'm assuming that a few people have not seen this press conference. So, let me see if I can get it going.
Rapid deployment unit.
See if what we can do here. For those that haven't been able to watch this yet, it's going to take a second. But anyways, what do you have to add to the whole? Olivia is just now learning about Quentin Simon.
I'm still researching.
She's still researching Quentin Simon, and we've already found the babysitter. We already pulled the babysitter's background, and I have to be honest with you, the babysitter's background didn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that makes me a bad person, and I'm okay with that. But I'm sorry, she just didn't make me feel warm and fuzzy inside, and that's the truth.
I hope like they're checking security cameras around their home, like at gas stations or grocery stores. Because what if like there's something suspicious? Like,
Yeah.
They were driving somewhere.
There we go. This, and I have to be honest with you, he appears to be a lot better prepared for this press conference. Remember, we watched the other press conference, and he was like, oh, I didn't look that much into this case, and I didn't do this. And I was like, what? I didn't know if he was like just doing that just to kind of throw people off, to keep questions from being pelted at him. I mean, he looks like this is from Savannah, Georgia. Savannah, Georgia, it's not like they're opposed to crime. They have crime there, and some gruesome crime in Savannah, Georgia, so it's not like these officers don't know what they're doing, is what I'm trying to say. And this gentleman here appears to me as being a very seasoned law enforcement agent. It's like he's studying and reading. What?
As we continue our search for Quentin Simon, I want to update you.
Okay, so there's a lip sync problem. I saw that on Dolly Visions when he was playing, and I just naturally thought it was, Dolly's stuff, but it looks like it's a Facebook issue.
Our aggressive efforts to find him. I want to assure everyone that we are continuing to use every investigative resource available for us to locate little Quentin. We have conducted multiple interviews, executed multiple search warrants, and we've canvassed numerous specific geographic areas. The day Quentin was reported missing, we requested the assistance of the FBI. They responded immediately and have been on the scene with our officers since that time. Today, there are more than 40 FBI agents and personnel on the ground in Chatham County working with our department to find Quentin. This includes all agents assigned to the Savannah and Brunswick resident agencies and professional staff, agents from other FBI offices, including members of the Child Abduction and Rapid Deployment Unit, and other subject matter experts. They have been continuously working with Chatham County Police Department for the last 5 days. We believe with the continued assistance of the FBI, we will have a resolution to this case. We understand that
with the assistance of the FBI, they believe that they're going to have a resolution in this case. So it sounds like the FBI is now in it has the task of processing all the forensic evidence in this case.
Far beyond Chatham County have become emotionally invested in this incident and the search for Quentin, and they want answers. We are committed to finding those answers, and we are committed to finding Quentin. With that said, I'll be happy to answer a few questions if you have.
Now, I can honestly say the look on this officer's face, this case is bothering this man. He does not look no officers look happy when they're dealing with a missing child, but this seems, in my opinion, to really be bothering this chief. And if the worst thing you could ever do is piss off the chief of police, right? And he looks like he's pretty pissed off. So I think that they're going to get to the bottom of this sooner than later.
This has been going on for about 5 days now.
So she's saying, if you can't hear her, this has been going on for 5 days now. Everybody's kind of moving forward.
At what point, you say that there's some criminal?
And she's asking, at what point do they think that there is going to be criminal? And she's referring to the criminal investigation. This is important. This is probably the most important of this entire press conference, because I think he shows his cards a little bit here.
Yes, and that's a very good and that's a very fair question. we're looking at it from multiple fronts, and one of it being a criminal investigation.
One thing we haven't heard from this chief is that they believe that this child was abducted. We have not heard that out of his mouth yet. There hasn't been, has anybody heard? If you've heard him say that there's a possibility of an abduction here, press 1. If you have heard nothing related to an abduction other than the very broad statement of every possibility is on the table, press 2. Go over this side and see if I can see you guys popping better. 2. Yeah. I agree. I honestly believe, I don't recall him ever indicating that this was a possibility of an abduction. So the lack thereof of that statement, the lack of concern for, possibly finding an abduction. Are you out of here?
In 2 minutes.
And
But
so
yeah,
yeah,
let me say bye now. Bye, guys. I gotta leave. But I love you guys.
She's got stuff to do.
Yeah.
She's going into what? The studio?
Yeah.
She's going to the studio.
Work on some music. Bye, guys.
All right, drive safely. Can you text me when you get home just so I know you're home safe?
Yeah, I will.
All right, love you. All right, guys. So, and so this guy, let's listen. Oops. Back over here.
As well as, a missing child at this point. We don't have anything confirmed, so we can't say anything absolutely.
They don't have anything confirmed. Does that sound like they've got something? Hey, Steffers, that to me sounds like they got something. They just haven't been able to confirm it. They haven't been able to vet the information as true. There's some wagers here. I'm hearing people think that these parents are going to be arrested very, very soon. This is Georgia. I truly believe Georgia, they do a heck of a lot better than, say, a state like Tennessee, where we have the parents of Summer Wells still being able to live their life and actually are now making the trip back to Ben Hill Road. And still nothing. It's been how many months? June 15th, 2021 was when that little girl disappeared. So we're at probably 16 months now, almost a year and a half. And this child still hasn't had anybody arrested in connection with her. And you guys, and I have haters that have a problem with me protesting. I really do believe that by the time I get back from California, if we still have no response from TBI or Hawkins County, I think it's kind of leaving us with no choice but to have our voices heard on behalf of Summer Wells. So I'm not sure how I'm going to quite work this yet. We've got a lot of things that are coming up, from Debbie Collins to Quentin Simon to Kiely Rodni to Summer Wells. I still have to set out the stuff for Michael Monkey Vaughn, so we've got 5 major cases right now that we are trying to cover, not even including things like Jolissa or that Taylor, you remember Taylor, the fan onlys girl that killed her fiance. We still have hardly even covered that because Kiely Rodni started dominating the airways. So we've got a lot of stuff that we're getting ready to do with this. So, I don't know what to do. Either way, this is what it is. So let's just keep listening to this.
But it is fair to say that, our efforts and the cooperation with the FBI and them providing an abundance of resources to us, that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well.
We are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of this. Cody Bigsby, thank you. I am Team Summer. Did you hear that? Let's rewind that.
And the cooperation with the FBI and them providing an abundance of resources to us, that we are looking at the criminal investigation aspect of it as well.
Boom. This is, he started out with, this is still a missing person investigation, right? But he's ending in, well, it really is a criminal investigation. That's good news, folks. But he's putting it right. Did you see that whole word salad he did? He started out, this is just a normal run-of-the-mill missing persons report, but here we are, not even 5 minutes. And actually, that started at 2 minutes. So we're not even 3 minutes into this press conference, and we are realizing that this is not just a regular missing person case, that this truly is a criminal investigation. And they're utilizing the resources of the FBI for that investigation. He's asking, how are you looking at it at the criminal investigation?
Everybody is being looked at. Everybody is being interviewed. Everybody that had contact.
Everybody. You're hearing him say everybody. This is where I said, well, that includes that babysitter. And that babysitter even stated that she has already spoken not only to law enforcement, but the FBI related to her conduct and everything else. She's got apparently cameras around her house. So it sounds to me like for the babysitters, even though we have to look at her, it sounds to me like she's got all the necessary documentation for her alibi for this. But again, we don't know what happened to this child. And there is still that real possibility that this child could have been injured in her care, although this child may have passed away or met its demise while in the parent's care. Sometimes injuries to a child take days before it will ultimately end in demise. It could be a few hours. It could be 12 or 24 hours from the original injury. So these are the things that although I do believe what the babysitter is saying, I'm not comfortable with my opinion of that because I have no factual basis to make that determination other than she sounded good on one video or a couple of videos explaining what she experienced. But even that stuff, I question. I question because you're logging all this. You're taking photos of these bruises, this dirt that's coming on these kids not having diapers or formula or anything like that. You're literally logging these issues in and telling the grandmother that's not doing a damn thing. At what point was this babysitter going to actually pick up the phone and call the Department of Children and Family Services? Again, this is another one of those cases where it seems like it's just a day late and $1 short. And it ended up costing a young child his life. Because here, I don't believe this child is alive. And people can hate me for saying that. And we always want to have hope for these children. But we're also looking at the behavior of the parents that is very suspect, including the boyfriend that would not let the babysitter in the house to even help look for the child. This is the same babysitter that received a call or a text at 5:30 something in the morning telling her services weren't needed. Why? Why was the babysitter called at 5:30? Boyfriend says he saw the kid at 6:30. Mom's reporting the kid gone at 9:30. Right? So there's a 4-hour window. What happened? And not only that, before the 4 hours, because again, it's my theory that the babysitter call was the last thing on the checklist of what they needed to do. Oh, we forgot to call the babysitter. We got to make sure the babysitter's called. So yeah, I've got a major problem. I got a major problem with this story, but I think this law enforcement agent, this chief, has told us what we needed to hear. This is not like what they said at the beginning. This is starting out. This is a normal missing person. Nothing's changed about the missing person. But then you get the press starts asking questions, and then lo and behold, we realize that this is a criminal investigation, and that the FBI is using a whole lot of resources for. That's what we got out of this measly little press conference that really had no information. Had a lot of information to me.
With Quentin in the most recent time of his disappearance is being looked at, is being interviewed. And that's an enormous amount of work, obviously, that takes. And we are continuing to do everything that we can do to gather evidence if it's there. We have to follow, obviously, an investigative process. We have to follow the law. We have to get search warrants. I know
they have to follow an investigative process. They have to get, they have to follow the law. They have to follow, these things. This is beyond a missing person. This is definitely, I don't think they believe shit the parents are saying. Now, the grandmother, there's been some people that say we need to look at the grandmother too. I agree, because the grandmother's, past isn't all that good either. The grandma's is right up there with the babysitter's past. I mean, outside of the prostitution and the burglaries and forgeries, I mean, the babysitter had burglary, forgery, domestic with serious injury. I mean, some serious stuff. The grandma is cray-cray, in my opinion. Yeah, and the babysitter talked about that grandmother going up in her house. Like, that grandmother was lucky that she had Diane to deal with. If she came walking up into my house like that, I don't know. Depends on whether I feared for my life or not. She might not be leaving the Bullhorn Betty casa, right? People got to be careful. You can't be walking up in people's houses. You walk up into people's houses. I mean, literally in that front door uninvited, they have every right to shoot you dead where you stand. Shoot you dead. I think that family's got enough problems. They don't need grandma going home in a body bag, in my opinion. So this is crazy. Grandmother is crazy. Grandma's going over there telling this babysitter that she feels that she sold this child. No, grandmother, you left these children in the hands of somebody that has injured this child that you were responsible for by the court of law. The only person that has dirty hands here outside of mom is grandma. It doesn't sound like these children should have ever been left in the custody of their mother. I don't know. I haven't seen the documentation. I've heard that the documentation exists. I heard that the documentation was authenticated. And I heard that grandmother had custody, legal guardianship over those children, yet she leaves those children in the care of a child that she's trying to evict from a home because there is no peace in that home. No peace at all. So, they can try to point the fingers at babysitters. They can point the fingers at law enforcement. They can point the fingers at phantom, abductors. They can even point the finger at Bullhorn Betty. But what they can't do is change the facts. And the facts are that whole entire family and family unit is one hot mess. And a child has lost their life due to that one hot mess. Now, granted, Bullhorn Betty, that's not what law enforcement said. You're right. It's not what law enforcement said. Let me go back to, in my opinion, I believe this little boy is no longer here. And that's my opinion. Unless some information comes forward to change me off that, I am team foul play on this. I am team foul play. Many of you are team foul play. Let me ask this, and be honest. I'm not going to lynch you or come after you, and the chat's going to be cool too. How many people believe that this was an accident? If you guys believe that this was an accident, press 1. If you believe that this was an abduction, press 2. And if you believe that the parents are guilty as hell, press 3. Heaven 57, I think you met Billy Joe's son is in prison. Yes, I did hear that. I have not confirmed that. I heard that it's Leilani's brother that is in prison or in jail. Some people call it prison, depending if it's an 1129, they're in jail. So that means if it's under 12 months, if their conviction or their sentence is under 12 months, Okay, so Renee in North Carolina believes that it's possible that this is an accident and the parents are guilty as hell. So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Renee. I'm just, speculating on what you meant, is that you believe it was an accident that the parents covered up, like whether it be a drug overdose, whether it be the kid drowned or something like that. So you're kind of combining the two. Am I correct on that? Yes, he is named after him. Quentin is his middle name. Okay, yeah. So Renee's kind of on the border. Like she doesn't believe that the parent. It sounds to me she doesn't believe the parents intentionally did anything to this child. That she believes it was an accident that the parents covered up. With this babysitter's account, if I took everything this babysitter said as true, it sounds like that. Now, mind you, this boy was 20 months old. In my opinion, now this is just my opinion. Like I swatted my grandkids' hands, and you may have popped them on the butt, with their diaper on, just a little pop if they did something that you just needed to snap their attention out of. Like they're getting ready to touch a stove, you pop their hand. If they don't want to listen, you pop their butt. But you don't beat a child, and you don't use a belt or anything like that. Me personally, I don't feel that a 20-month-year-old child, outside of getting a hand slapped for doing something or stood in the corner, I'm not the one that believes that the child should have corporal punishment. I don't think that at 2 years old that the actual physical rearing of a child should be conducted. That's just my personal preference. I think 20 months is a little too young for that. I mean, because they're controllable, right? They do something seriously wrong, you can just go and snatch them up and you can protect them, right, from themselves. So I just don't see that, smacking a child and especially using a belt on a 20-month-year-old, to me, that's excessive force, in my opinion. To me, when you're using a belt on a 20-month-year-old child, to me, that is child abuse, okay? Because your open palm, you don't need to make a child feel pain at that age. You just need to get their attention to stop them from doing whatever they're doing. So sometimes just, and I'm not talking about a big pop, just, a pop on the rear end, get their attention, snap them out of it. No, don't do that. If you do that again, you're going to time out. I don't believe that a 20-month-year-old child should ever be whipped with a belt, a switch, or anything else. 20 months, no, absolutely not. And redirect of attention. Yes, you're just trying. It's like training a dog, and I don't like to say, children are like dogs. But when you're trying to train a dog and they're not paying attention, you have to do something, whether it's drop something, smack something, snap something, clap something, jiggle something. You got to get that dog's attention to stop him from doing whatever he's doing you don't want to do. It's similar with a child. You don't need to beat a child, not a 20-month-year-old. And so we're hearing from this babysitter that this child has been coming over to her house with belt bruises on the body. Now, if it's at the neck, the back, whatever, it sounds to me like somebody has grabbed that child up by their arm, because I can visualize this, and just got so angry with that child that they just started beating that child. They didn't care where that belt ended up. And that's how a child gets a belt bruise on the back of their neck. There is no 20-month-year-old that I have ever seen in my life that is so bad. That warrants even having a belt. I don't care if it was a cloth belt, meet their rear end. I have not yet met a 20-month-old child. Do 20-month-old children, the terrible twos, scream, cry, kick, throw a fit, embarrass you in a store. You're ready to pop this child's neck, slap off its shoulders. I get it. Sometimes you just got to put them in the car, turn the car on, the air conditioning, and sit outside of that car and just let them throw their temper tantrum. I get it. But what I don't get is hitting a 20-month-year-old with a belt. That I will never understand. 5 years old, 6 years old, yes, I can understand the rearing of a child and using that type of corporal punishment for a child more significant in age, where you don't have to worry about injuring that child like you can a 20-month-year-old. So you got parents that are in there. And if many of people know, you know, when you're strung out and everything and you're coming down, you're irritable. You got a kid kicking and screaming or stealing another sibling's toys and causing, you know, the whole house just to erupt and screams and cries and nobody's happy. Mom and dad are spent, you know. I can see frustration and anger in these young children and them losing their cool. And that's why it's so important that these young children keep their legs closed and quit having babies when they're not ready to have these babies, in my opinion. Sue Bullhorn Betty, because she said that these girls need to keep their legs closed. Sue me. That's how I believe. If these kids would quit bopping every Tom, Dick, and Harry without protecting themselves, you know, this kind of stuff wouldn't happen. This is a 22-year-old child that had no business having children. And a mom that is as crazy as her daughter. And then you have a babysitter, which looks semi-normal, but then you peek under the hood and you're like, well, hell, she looks batshit crazy too. Anyways, let's get on. Got 6 more minutes.
I know there's a lot of interest out there and probably some chatter of why haven't you done this and why haven't you done that? Well, we have a constitution to follow. We have the law to follow because we want to make sure we get it right. We want to make sure we do this as professionally.
Guys, I don't know. You know, when I heard this the first time, I didn't get it. But it sounds to me like they are looking at the parents and they need to be very methodical in what they do because when they take this to court, they want it to stick. Now, I could be wrong. I could be reading a lot into this because I want to read a lot into this, right? Let's go back and listen to what he's saying and how he's saying it. It sounds to me like he knows a lot more than he did on his first press conference. And it sounds to me like he's keeping cool as a cucumber. But it sounds to me like there's a lot more that they've got. I think they've got what they need to do what they need to do. I think what they're doing right now is taking all this to the state attorney and finding out what additional information do we have so we can charge these parents. I guarantee right now, as we sit here having this discussion about this case, they're sitting in a room somewhere having a discussion about how they're going to put these parents in jail. Because when you build a case, you have to argue that case before you even make the charge. You got to make sure that your arguments are right. If there's one missing piece, that state attorney is going to make you go find that one missing piece before he ever signs a warrant for arrest or ever sends the case to a grand jury for an indictment.
We have a constitution to follow. We have the law.
Constitution to follow, law to follow.
We want to make sure we get it right. We want to make sure we do this as professionally and as expertly as we can. So if, and I say if, we have to prosecute anyone in this case, that we've done it right.
I don't think it's if. I think you made a mistake there, police chief. It's when. The proper word in this case is when, not W-I-N, W-H-E-N. When you have to take these people to court, because we know it's coming. We're not stupid or blind or deaf or mute.
That we don't lose evidence in an evidentiary hearing or anything like that. So we continue to work diligently, but we're going to work within the framework that we have to work in.
What are the updates in the areas being searched? Where is it gone from? Where are you searching now?
Well, we went back today and researched the home in which he.
So I don't know who was all in Dolly Vision's chat. I haven't watched other people's chats today because I've been with Olivia working literally for hours and I'm ready to hit my head against a hard surface. I'm exhausted, guys. But we did learn that it appeared that they were draining the pool. It was my understanding that there is a pool on this property. I also heard that pool, we go out to our pools and they're crystal clear. They're ready to jump right into them and enjoy a nice summer day. My understanding is that pool was disgusting. So I have to think it was dark green algae. They probably couldn't see to the bottom of the pool because why else would they be searching the pool if they could clearly see from the top of the surface to the bottom of the floor? So it shows to me that this pool must be very disgusting, very green, probably not something that has a lot of visible clarity to see to the bottom. Yeah. So I'm thinking that that's why they went there. I believe they have an idea about this child. Do I believe that this child is literally on, unless this particular property has some acreage, which it could. I mean, it's a nice big house, and I can't see behind it. But if this has some acreage, then maybe the child is buried on that property. But you guys know how I feel about it. That child, if it's not there directly on the property, it's within 2 to 5 miles of that property, because nobody is driving around with a body in their vehicle. It's just not happening. I'm sorry, it's not happening. People don't want to take the risk, especially somebody that's under the influence of some kind of substance. They're not even thinking clearly at the moment. But in all fairness, they did have many hours, many hours. So we know the psychology of a person that does this is one that they will bury or hide a place that feels comfortable. So, for example, if the daughter or that boyfriend has a special place, that would be more likely the area that they may consider putting a child. That's detailed information that we have no idea about. We don't know them. That's going to be the difficult part. But I truly believe if their hands are dirty in this, that child is closer to their property than we think. And I say that all the time. And I truly believe that. So.
Was last at, trying to redouble our efforts and to kind of scrub, no pun intended, with scrub the area and make sure that we didn't miss anything.
So FBI agents outside the home, what was the purpose of them being there?
They're there to help us. It's a Chatham County Police Department investigation. They are here in a support role, and I can't thank them enough. You don't bring 40 people and some from all over the country without an enormous amount of effort and expense. Those agents left their homes and left their families to come here and help Chatham County look for little Quentin, and I can't be any more appreciative of that.
We filed open records request for the 911 call. The body camera video for that initial response. It was denied today. Originally, they said it was because this was a criminal investigation.
Leave that DNA on that like button, folks.
We usually use the criminal investigation. Why don't you want that out there? Why don't you want the public to hear this?
So this reporter's.
We have to protect the integrity of the investigation, and that's first and foremost. I certainly understand people's interest in this case, your interest in this case, and I can appreciate that. But my responsibility and our responsibility is to do a professional investigation, that we don't do anything that impedes that we don't do anything that tarnishes the integrity of the investigation, and that's my sole responsibility for that.
And have any of the family members, are they still being cooperative, especially this mother, and have any of them told you that they don't want to talk anymore because they got lawyers?
I can't answer that question.
Chief, where are Lonnie and Daniel right now? They are the parents.
Let me go back to that. Sorry about that, guys. I hit a button. So they were asking why they don't want. So the reporter's asking them why they don't want the narrative of this being a criminal investigation out there. And what he said, it's like, well, why these word games that they play? You know what I'm saying? It drives me nuts sometimes, because you're saying it's a criminal investigation, but not saying it's a criminal investigation because of the integrity of the investigation. But you just said that the reason why you're not calling it a criminal investigation is because you don't want to destroy the integrity of the investigation. Therefore, you're implying that this is a criminal investigation, which just made the whole point of you saying it's a missing person investigation moot. It's moot. I don't get it. Word salad, but this is the games they like to play.
Are they still being cooperative, especially this mother, and have any of them told you that they don't want to talk anymore because they got lawyers?
I can't answer that.
Guys, he can't answer that because I have a funny feeling that the parents have lawyered up. He even goes on to say he has no clue where the mom and boyfriend are. That's scary.
Question.
Chief, where are Leilani and Daniel right now?
Leilani and Daniel.
The parents and the boyfriend of this young boy, but we haven't seen them pleading to the public for help. Where are they right now?
I don't know where they are currently at this time.
Wow. That's all I can say is wow.
do believe they've been staying at the residence, but I don't physically right now, as I'm talking to you, I don't know where they.
Do you know why it is?
So we have a 20-month-old missing child. The parents were the last one to see him. The parents' story stinks to high heaven, and you don't even have somebody sitting on the parents. This is smelling like Brian laundry. But I'm looking at this man's face, and and I'm saying there's a lot more to this than that. I have a funny feeling they know exactly where everybody is. I don't care what this man's saying. I think he's playing here. I think he's bluffing here. This is what I consider a bluff. You know how people say, "Oh, well, they cleared this person because they want him to mess up." No, this is the bluff here. We ain't watching them. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know where they're at. This is the bluff. This is the kind of crap that I think law enforcement does to make the persons of interest calm. They don't say, "Oh, we cleared them." They're coming out here saying, "We're not watching them. We have no idea where they're at. Not a clue." This is the bluff.
They're not talking to us. They're not pleading to get their child back.
I don't have an answer for that.
Don't have an answer for it.
Activity in the area this morning. Shogun County Fire, FBI in the house. A couple look like unmarked police vehicles.
Think about that, guys. This is a major thing, and he's downplaying it right here. They were at that house, and we're just hearing it. Whole lot of activity at that house today. Whole lot. A heck of a lot more than what we know. A heck of a lot more happened at that house than we know. They had FBI agents. It sounded like they raided that home. That's what's being described here to me. That's what I'm visualizing in my head. No matter how he's putting it out, it being la-di-da and just part of the procedure, it sounds to me like that home was raided. Listen.
Shogun County Fire, FBI in the house. A couple look like unmarked police vehicles. Their reason for increased activity today after kind of a drop off at least at the house over the weekend.
As I just stated earlier, we were searching that residence again this morning.
I have a question for you, Chief. And this point
Notice how he didn't want to address the real question. He didn't want to address the real question. Guys, it sounded like they raided that house. It sure does. And not only that, but if they raided that house and they were there just that day, they don't know where Mom and, Leilani and Daniel are. If they were at that house, they would have known whether they were there or not. These are avoiding the whole question. This is the bluff. This is how I think law enforcement bluffs people. Not this, we coming on the record and telling the whole world that they cleared somebody, because they would have to eat crow to unclear that person to arrest them. It would be a PR nightmare for law enforcement to say that they cleared somebody and then uncleared them. Does it happen? Yes, because they truly believe that somebody is innocent, and then new information surfaces that show that that person that they believed was that they were interested in. You see where I'm going with this? That's just my opinion.
And she has a question.
I know you can't speak specifically, but in cases like this, so you exhaust your person, and now you're back into researching some of those, you said targeted areas of the weekend. What happens next? If no one's giving you tips, if there's no piece of evidence that changes this case, how long do you exhaust this, and then what do your investigators do after today?
Well, after today, I anticipate us working at least throughout the week.
Sounds like they're wrapping a case up, doesn't it? I would presume we're going to be working the rest of the week. It sounds to me like they're wrapping a case up. They're getting ready to charge somebody. Just saying.
So at some point, if I'm following your train of logic, that we may have to sit down and reevaluate where we're at. If we've exhausted everything that we think that we can do, if we ask ourselves that question and we think there's nothing else for us to do at this moment, then we got to sit down and reevaluate. But we're a long ways away from that.
They got something.
Do you feel like you all have gotten further along in the process?
I do.
They got something.
What makes you believe that? If you don't mind me asking.
Look at that
I can't
face.
get any specifics.
That was a face of pure happiness. Did you see that smile on his face? A police chief ain't smiling like that. That was involuntary movement. You know how we have body language experts and they talk about this. Did you just see his face? He told everything. Let's do that again.
What makes you believe that?
Boom. That man's a happy man. That man knows. They know what happened. That right there is a chief of police that knows exactly what happened to that little boy. I'm sorry. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I'm telling you, I see a lot of these interviews with a lot of police people, and this is the best feeling I've gotten coming out of one of these press conferences before. I have to be honest with you.
I can't get any specifics.
Look at that smile. That is like, ha ha, we know, we got this. Why would he smile? He couldn't control it because he's proud of the work they did. I think they're just getting everything buttoned up in a pretty bow to hand over to the state attorney. What did the reporter ask? So the reporter asked him, what makes it, here, let's just go back and listen. I mean, make sure I get this right.
Evaluate. But we're a long ways away from that.
Okay. Just from the start of the process of the investigation. Do you feel like you have gotten further along with this? Hold on, let me go.
Away from that. I do.
Then apparently where they were, and he's saying yes, I do. And there's another question after this.
What makes you believe that?
What makes you believe that you're further along in the process? And look at his face. I don't think he meant to smile, because if you guys seen that picture of me with Brian Enton and Olivia, people were asking, why do you guys look so upset? Because you can't smile when you're at a natural disaster. They're frowned upon. And you're talking about a national news reporter like Brian Enton. He can't be caught out there smiling. Actually, to be honest with you, it took us 4 shots to get me from smiling, because I kept forgetting I can't smile. So we had to retake that freaking photo with Brian Enton several times because I wouldn't quit smiling, right? But I hadn't seen Brian in a while. So we were just chit-chatting and catching up and talking about, the cases we're covering. And he said, he was telling us that he was following the whole missing persons thing, and they kind of reorganized his role. And so I don't know, he hasn't really been doing a lot of these true crime cases. So, he was just telling us about stuff like that, but that's what they tell us. So this man right here is trained not to smile. It was uncontrolled. That means he did that organically. He didn't mean to do that. But I think the smile told us everything we need to know, because this is a man that has 6 children, we found out earlier. And you can imagine having a missing 20-month-old, how that would resonate with a man that had 6 children and loves his children. He's going to be thinking this is the most despicable thing. Right. Chiefs never smile. Ever. Ever. This was uncontrolled. They know this is the bluff. This is how you bluff.
I can't get any specifics of the case.
See how he redirected it? He realized he's smiling, fixed it real quick. But look at his eyes. Even now, he just can't help it. Like the proudness is all over his eyes. It's all over his eyes.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. I appreciate that. They're tired, but they're determined, and I couldn't be any prouder of them. They have worked 18-hour days since last Wednesday morning, along with the FBI and everybody else. I mean, they are all hands on deck. They are committed. They are working hard to try to bring a resolution to this case and find a little Clinton. So, but thank you for asking. I appreciate it.
Springboard off of that, that sounds like you're stating out here saying that you guys will find out.
I believe we will. I do.
They believe they're going to find out. They know.
Department set up a tip number over the weekend. Have y'all received any tips from it so far?
I believe we've received some, but we have to verify those, whether.
So anybody in and around this community that may have any doorbell cameras, any dash cams, anything, if you guys go to the article, I'm not going to dox the people on here. I'll probably dox them tomorrow. I just don't have it readily available. right? But it's the family. It's in the newspapers. It's not like we're really doxing them. It's all over the country right now. We're just relaying that information over. But it was from a address. Give me just a second. I'll just go ahead and do it. What the hell? So rumor mill, not squad. Here we go. So it was off of Backhalter Road. Backhalter Road. Anybody that was in and around the Backhalter Road area in Savannah, Georgia, you are asked to provide any, if you were there around the time. So the time span is early morning, late, early morning, like I would say from probably about 2 a.m. to probably about 9 a.m. Even if into the evening before, if you wanted to go that far. But if you were in and around the area, you have any kind of video, still photography, or anything like that, please reach out to, Chatham County, Georgia, and release that information to them. You never know what it may have. You never know what they're looking for. It might be the little nugget that they need to help with this case. So again, they still haven't found the body yet. They still haven't found the child yet. So this may be why they're delayed. They may want to find that. They may be backing off and bluffing the parents so the parents make mistakes so they can find this child. This is the bluff, though. This is not the we're clearing this person to make them make a mistake. This is how you do it right here. We're not watching. We don't even know if they're staying in the home. They're going to hear this. They're going to say, they're not even watching us. Let's go. Let's take care of it. Now's the time.
Or not they're accurate, whether or not we can, follow up on any of that information. I don't have anything of substance. So I got one more question from you. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, there you go, guys. So I think even though this press conference was short and sweet, I think this press conference is very powerful. I really do. And I think it says a lot. And I honestly believe that the parents in this particular matter are toast, in my opinion. I think they're toast. I think the parents have some kind of responsibility. They were the last people to see this child alive. Why
Thank you being here. Thank you.
Sorry, it's not allowing me to exit out of this for some reason. There we go. Got it. Okay. Research. Okay. So that's kind of it, guys. It was fun for our members only live. Sorry, I didn't stay here as long. Like I wanted to do this for 2 hours, but I'm so exhausted from working. You guys can see I'm exhausted. And, it's already 7 o'clock. So by the time I have a cup of coffee, wind down, I will be ready for bed. And then I still got to come live with you guys tomorrow. I'll be off for a few days. And then we'll be heading to California. So that's kind of the thing. But I will be coming live soon. So tomorrow and what's tomorrow? Tuesday and Wednesday, I will be live. I'll be live the rest of this week. It's just going to be altered times. So just be on the lookout. If you guys have not subbed up, please sub up. And don't forget to turn the bell to all. Because when I'm out in the field, you never know when I'm going to go live. And so that's kind of how it's going to roll. You guys take care. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for spending your Monday with me. It was so nice to see you guys today. And we'll be back here first thing in the morning. I probably won't be doing a live until, I don't know. It's going to be just a slightly later than our 8 o'clock time. Like I started at 7:30 this morning, and it was because I knew I was going to have to do all this work with Olivia today. But tomorrow, I'm just going to come out just a tad bit later, possibly. So just be on the lookout for that. But we will be live. And we will be breaking this down. And you guys bring your A game and get your butts up on this panel. All right? This is for you guys. This is for you guys to tell me your thoughts so we can start looking into these theories. I can't think of all the theories myself. I can't think of all the speculation myself. But we need to start speculating. We need to get a good list of what could have happened so we can start proving or disproving it. This little boy, I think whatever's happened, the damage is done. But we still have a young boy that needs to be brought home and to rest in peace, in my opinion. If he's still alive, I pray that he's still alive. I want to keep that hope. But this is one of those that just in my belly, my gut, it's not sitting well with me. Just not sitting well. So with that, guys, good night. I love you. God bless. Go have a great evening. And, there's something that we are going to be doing, and I want you guys to help me with this. So when you guys go over to other creators, I am working with, and it's not a me thing at all. It's not a me thing at all. It's a, where somebody wanted me to also help them. So we all know Ricky Beavers. We all love Ricky Beavers. He's a great guy. He just has an enormous heart, and he really wants to help children. He's looking to build a ranch for children that need a place to stay, foster care or something. Not like an orphanage, but, something much better for children than that. Something that gives children something to look forward to, is like a farm where they have animals and responsibilities and things to help them. Well, Ricky Beavers is wanting to do something for the vets. November 11th is coming around very, very soon. And he would really like to collaborate with a lot of different creators for veterans. And I think it's a fabulous idea. I got to go through what kind of organizations YouTube is affiliated with, because we even want a vet organization that we can do a fundraiser with. But you guys know how I feel about them. I don't like having my hands in fundraisers. I need to have an organization that's already tied to YouTube, that the money goes direct to them. So I may need somebody to help me with that, or help Ricky with that, or whatever. But if you're out there, we got a lot of great creators out there that love the veterans, and whether we agree personally or not, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's for a good cause, and it's for the veterans. So if you guys are out there, please start letting people know that we're really wanting to do something on November 11th. This was not something that I thought of. This is something that Ricky Beavers thought of, and then asked me if I could get on board with something like this. And absolutely, when it comes to the vets, I'm more than welcome to help. And I know there's many creators out there across YouTube that would also be willing to help. So if you have any questions, please feel free to get a hold of me. I'm happy to give you guys get in contact with Ricky Beavers, so you can see how you can help with this event for the vets on November 11th. So anyways, I'll see you guys later. Have a great day. God bless. Don't forget to be fearless, folks. If you see something, say something, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And if the Quentin Simon case doesn't show us that, I don't know what will, because this child could have been saved if responsible adults would have handled their business in a responsible manner. But it is what it is.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.